Thanks for joining us. You're watching Arirang Newsbreak. It's June 2nd, a sunny Thursday here in Korea. After wrapping up her trip to Africa, President Park Geun-hye is now in France for a state visit celebrating 130 years of diplomatic relations between Seoul and Paris. She will start her 4-day trip with a Korea-France business forum set for this afternoon. Our Song Ji-sun tells us more from Paris.
Saturday marks the 130th anniversary of diplomatic ties between Seoul and Paris, and President Park's state visit to France was made possible by an invitation from her French counterpart, François Hollande. Through summit talks Friday, the two leaders will adopt a joint communiqué aimed at strengthening their comprehensive partnership in the 21st century. Seoul sees that there's still room for growth and expanding trade volume and investment with the 6th largest economy in the world and 3rd biggest in Europe. To realize the potential, the two sides will seek to diversify trade items and bolster investment, while seeking to foster new industries and the creative economy. Deepening cooperation on the international stage from climate change to nuclear threats is another agenda.
The two countries will discuss measures to reinforce cooperation in the creative economy and cultural prosperity. We will also garner support from France on our drive to reunify the Koreas. We'll also seek to boost our global partnership to resolve international issues like sustainable development and climate change.
President Park will also be granted a Doctor of Science degree at a Paris university, acknowledging her initiatives for creative economy and cultural prosperity. President Park's official schedule begins with a business forum and partnership on Thursday, followed by a culture event highlighting Hallyu. To further promote the Korean wave, a K-Culture Week is being held in 9 cities across France. Song Ji-sun, Arirang News, Paris.
The UN Security Council has condemned North Korea for its failed missile test this week, as well as an earlier test conducted in April. The 15 members unanimously adopted a press statement on Wednesday, slamming the regime for stoking tension. Kwon So-ah has the details.
The UN Security Council wasted no time responding to North Korea's latest provocation. Just a day after Pyongyang's failed Musudan ballistic missile launch, the Council adopted a press statement saying the launches are in, quote, grave violation of the DPRK's international obligations under United Nations Security Council resolutions. It also noted that the tests contribute to the regime's development of nuclear weapons and increased tension in the region. The statement, under the lead of the United States and Japan and consulted with non-member South Korea, was unanimously accepted by all 15 members of the Security Council, including the North's longtime ally China. The statement also referred to another missile test late April, which, despite calls for a press statement, was not adopted as Russia asked for more time to review it. It's the 5th time the Council has issued a press statement since it adopted tough new sanctions against North Korea in March, following Pyongyang's 4th nuclear test and long-range missile launch early this year. Kwon So-ah, Arirang News.
The United States is also keeping the fire under the North Korean leadership by further locking the regime out of the U.S. financial system. Our Hwang Ho-jun has more on that.
The U.S. Treasury Department on Wednesday designated North Korea as a primary money laundering concern. This powerful sanction is seen as punishment for the regime's nuclear and missile programs. It marks the first time Washington has blacklisted the North as a money laundering concern. A source within Seoul's foreign ministry says the initiative shows the U.S. is determined to maintain pressure on Pyongyang. The designation comes a day after top North Korean official Ri Su-yong met with Chinese President Xi Jinping, where the two sides expressed their willingness to improve strained relations. Watchers say the designation could also be a message to China to keep the pressure on Pyongyang. Hwang Ho-jun, Arirang News.
Switching gears now, the Korean economy grew 0.5% in the first 3 months of this year, continuing its 0% range growth for the second straight quarter. The Bank of Korea says the provisional first quarter growth was largely driven by construction and investment that rose nearly 5%. Exports and domestic demand shrunk in the first quarter. Outbound shipments dropped 1.1%, while domestic spending was down 0.2% from the quarter before. Korea's gross domestic income, which is the sum of all income earned while producing goods and services, rose 2.7% on quarter. Honda, Mercedes-Benz, and Ford are recalling a combined 13 models amounting to some 9,000 units in Korea. Honda's Civic and Legend models are among others in Honda's range, with overpressurized airbags that, when deployed, could injure the driver. Mercedes-Benz Korea is recalling E-Class sedans for problems with their powertrain control system. Seoul's Transport Ministry says an error in the model's powertrain software may fail to transmit power to the automatic transmission. Ford's Lincoln sedans were found to have fuel tanks that may corrode when exposed to de-icing chemicals. Owners will be notified individually, but all the relevant information can also be found on the ministry's website. 2 people have been killed in a murder-suicide on the university compounds of UCLA. Los Angeles police chief has confirmed one man shot another and then himself in the university's engineering building. He said police could not immediately confirm the identities of the 2 people killed, but a suicide note was found. The police chief told reporters that there's no continuing threat and a 2-hour-long campus-wide lockdown had been lifted. UCLA officials say classes will resume as normal on Thursday. And that does it for now. Check out more of the day's headlines here on Arirang. Thank you for watching.